One of the coolest snails in North America is called Euglandina rosea, also known by its common name, the Rosy Wolfsnail. This is the Rosy Wolfsnail, and if you compare it to my hand, you can see it's pretty large in size compared to most North American land snails. Unlike most snails, which have 2 pairs of tentacles, the Rosy Wolfsnail has 3. So here you can see its eye stalks on the very top of its head. Then down here it has its sensory tentacles. And then this third set, which looks like a mustache, is called the oral lappets. And it's got chemical receptors along those which it uses to find fresh slime trails. And once it comes across a slime trail, it'll race off to find the snail that made it, and then it'll eat it. In addition to that third set of tentacles, another adaptation the snail has is this really long neck. And the reason it has this long neck is because when it chases down a snail and tries to eat it, the prey snail will retract into the shell as a defense mechanism. But since the Rosy Wolfsnail has this long neck, it can reach down into the shell of the other snail and eat it no matter how far down it travels. Rosy Wolfsnails can be found from Texas over east to South Carolina and throughout northern Florida. They can also be found in other places in the world like Hawaii because they've been introduced by humans. And what happened in Hawaii was that giant African land snails were released and they started becoming an invasive species. So someone thought that they would release Rosy Wolfsnails as a natural pest control. The only problem was that giant African land snails are way larger than Rosy Wolfsnails, maybe 10 to 20 times their size. And what the Rosy Wolfsnails did was, instead of eating the giant African land snails, they went after the smaller native Hawaiian snails. So now they have a problem in Hawaii because not only are there giant African land snails, there are Rosy Wolfsnails which eat the native snails. This is a video clip of the Rosy Wolfsnail eating a smaller polygyrid snail. Euglandina will also rasp at the shell of the victim snail as it's the primary source of calcium. And this can be heard if it's quiet enough around you and you're listening closely. Some people believe that Euglandina will only eat live snails, but I've had success feeding them raw clam meat in captivity. You can also house a couple of them together because they won't bother each other if they're well fed.